Kevin, just what can you say about Derek? What he gave you? Like he scored 16 of, or assisted on 16 of 18 points late in that second half when Rutgers had kind of gotten close.
Yeah, I would say this. He finally played against someone his own age. You know, he's been going against the last 4 or 5 games, fifth-year senior, fifth-year senior, fifth-year senior, senior. And he's played well, but, you know, that's a grind. Especially the defenses that Nebraska will throw at you, Northwestern throws at you, Indiana's size. So I think it was kind of funny. They all looked like they had little baby faces out there. And it's the first time I've seen that in a long time because it's been probably before COVID and the extra senior year that you see a bunch of freshmen on the court. So I thought he just took advantage of the mismatch and played really well.
And how about what Jordan gave you, particularly in the first half? And is he okay? We saw he left for the locker room holding it.
Yeah, Jordan got a pretty good elbow. He's probably got to get a few stitches. But he played great. I mean, Jordan and Tafar have kind of, when one of them haven't been available, have really played well because they just know they're going to play. So Jordan practiced great last week. That's why I put him in first against Ohio State. And he's practiced really well the last couple weeks.
Kevin, Rodney had those back-to-back threes in the second half to kind of give you guys a cushion again. How important was that in the grand scheme of things?
Yeah, I think Rod and Selt have kind of figured out if one of them have it going, then they're going to look for each other. I thought Selt in the first half was phenomenal. Just made some shots that he's been doing, and then I think, you know, everyone knew that Rod kind of had it going, so everyone started looking for Rod. But I think they've worked really well, knowing which guys kind of got it going a little bit.
Coach, just wanted to touch on Derek for a second again. Career high in front of all these scouts, sharing the floor with Ace and Dylan. What does it just say about his maturity to piece together a performance like that with so many eyes watching?
I've seen that all year. So, I mean, I don't think that's the first time. His first game he played in college, I think he had 22 and 20. So I don't think it matters who's playing or who's watching. He's just that good of a player. So, I mean, he went to Purdue and had 26. So this is nothing surprising.
Coach, you talked a little bit about Rutgers. They've gone through some growing pains this year. Do you think that people sort of underestimated maybe the importance of experience and age nowadays?
I would say this. I think Steve has done an unbelievable job with that lineup. For them, they had won 2 out of 3. Defensively, they had gotten much better, especially at home. If this team was together next year, I would think they would probably be 5 wins better. I'll say the same thing. They're going up against, and again, going through this conference and going through the size, the physicality, the coaching. For those young men to be playing as good as they are, I think just shows you how good they are. But I don't think they're performing exactly the way they probably should perform. And I think Steve's done a phenomenal job coaching them to even keep them where they are.
Kevin, it's
Jerry,
good to see you.
It's good to see you.
How did you defend Harper and Bailey so well? Neither of them got a clean look off from 3 the whole game.
I think the biggest thing was for us, knowing they were young, knowing they've never seen pressure in this building, was to just keep pressure. And really, it was all our whole focus was the first half, making sure that they really were not comfortable in the first half. And they're too talented. They're gonna eventually find a way to get a bucket. But our main goal, it's all we talked about we only had one practice for one day, was just make sure that they're not comfortable at all in the first half. And I thought we did a good job with that.
Coach, you talked about Steve Pikiell and the job he's done. He was just in here talking about how complimentary he is of your group and how you've come together. The mutual respect that you guys have, knowing how big this conference is and how tough this conference is, how does that make you feel that coach after coach that comes in here before you, that comes into the building, is talking about the job that you've done?
Steve's a good friend. I have so much respect for Steve. I think this is like I don't know how many times we've gone against each other. And at my old job, we were literally, traffic, 25 minutes where it should be 15. But when you're so close and you recruit the same guys and you see where he picked up the Rutgers program and where it was and what he had to go through and see the kids he's recruited and really see him almost on a daily basis on the recruiting trail. I mean, Jersey is there's a very small pocket of what you recruit. I think you grow to respect to see a man that gives his all to a university, and Steve has given everything to Rutgers. And it's fun to watch him get high level players. It's fun to watch him where he's brought that program. So again, I have so much respect for Steve because I saw what he did from the start and what he took over for it. So he's a good friend of mine, and he's a heck of a coach.
Hey, Kevin. You guys started 0-7 from the floor, but Selton caught fire almost immediately after that. And kind of in the absence of Tafara, did you think of him as a spark plug and kind of brought the offense along, especially in that first half when it started slow?
No, we got some good looks. I mean, Jew had a couple, I thought he got fouled a couple times, and they got some fast break points, but we were getting everything we wanted to. So after the under 16, I told everybody just to relax. We're getting good looks. We're getting good shots. It's nice to have a guy that's old as Selton because he doesn't get frazzled and he just keeps playing his game. But we're on these Thursday Sundays. So, and we're on the road on Thursday. So we didn't get home till almost 4 in the morning on Friday. So we didn't practice Friday. These guys practiced great yesterday. It was the best practice we've had all year. I was shocked because we only have 9 scholarship guys, and they practice great. And so I kind of just reminded them like, hey. We practice great. Whenever we practice great, we play great. Let's just kind of get in the rhythm, and I thought Selt helped us get in the rhythm.
Coach, speaking to that Thursday.
Does everyone know there's a Super Bowl? I mean, what the fuck? Jesus. No one's got a party to go to? No one's got... Go ahead.
Speaking about that Thursday, Sunday, what does it mean say about the persona of your team when in the second half when that lead started going away that they just got together and shut it down after what happened on Thursday?
No, we talked about that. In a very positive way about we're kind of doing the same thing we did at Ohio State. And we had gotten out of that rhythm. We did the same thing at Indiana. We got up 9 at Indiana, and we let them come all the way back. This is a confident group, which is great. But sometimes they take the foot off the gas a little bit, and I think what they're learning is you cannot do that in this conference. Where they might have come from, I mean, we have 4 starters from 4 different conferences last year. You might have been able to get away with that last year, and I think they're starting to respect the conference. They're learning and they're understanding, and you could say, well, you're 12 games in or 13 games in. They're all freshmen from the standpoint of learning the Big Ten. And as every game you go through, that's why seniors are great. It's why you depend on your seniors and freshmen drive you up the wall. And from a standpoint of understanding the league, I technically have 4 freshmen starting because they've never gone through this league.
Eli and the Gene will have the last one.
Kevin, any info on Tafara's status?
He's sick. We've all had it. Our trainer's gone. Jacoby had it against Ohio State. Tafara's sick. It's kind of gone through the team a little bit, unfortunately.
Gotcha. And I know heading into today, Juju had a pretty strong stretch here. To see everyone else sort of step up around him when he has a quiet night, what do you think that says about the versatility and balance of this team?
Well, I'll tell you, it shows his leadership because on the bench he knew it was not his night, and his leadership was unbelievable at all times. His voice was loud. He was positive, and he's been the best player in the Big Ten for the last month, hands down. I mean, you look at his numbers and what he's shooting, offense, rebound, his defense. So the big fella had a tough night. It happens.
Kevin, obviously didn't really make that much of a difference tonight, but any level of concern about the free throw shooting? You missed 10 in the second half. Another game where it wasn't as good as you wanted it to be.
No, yes, it's concerning. It's starting to aggravate me a little bit because not only do we work on it, but we're a good free throw shooting team. I mean, we go back to Ohio State. If we just make our free throws, we win the game. So sometimes it gets a little mental. Sometimes it's a little thing, but we'll